got an example of stress cracks. We got load from the roof pushing down. Very normal. With a little bit of shrinkage and movement, it'll crack the sheetrock. We're going to fix all three of them and show the proper way to repair them. Products for the ceiling repair, we have a tub of taping mud. Any kind of joint compound will work. Sanding sponges, taping knife, a 6" and an 1.5 inch, plastic, paper tape, and a clean out brush. We're going to start with the preparation for the ceiling portion of the repair. I take a wet sponge and wet down the texture. You may have to keep wetting it for a while for the moisture to soak into the taping mud. You can take a putty knife and scrape off the texture. Once you have a more or less a small trough, that's where we'll use paper tape to tape over the joint itself. The next step after we have removed the texture off of the actual crack, we're going to use paper tape to go over the crack itself. You can use any drywall product. I'm using an actual quick-set taping mud. Make sure that you push all the mud out from behind the paper tape. Set tape in the corner. Like I said, make sure to push the excess mud out from behind the paper tape. We'll put the first fill coat on top of the paper tape. This will have to dry before you do the second coat. If you are using a product that is a quick set, it'll go a lot faster, but you can use conventional regular mud. We're going to use the wet sponge again to more or less sand the patch on the ceiling. You will have to get the edges super smooth so you can do texture on top of it. Once it's smooth, it's ready for texture. We're down to putting texture on the small repair. I've already mixed up some taping mud. You make it to where it's very loose, it's very thin. Use a wadded up piece of paper to put texture on this patch. This is not the normal way that we would do a repair. We would use a hopper gun, but this is the easiest way for a homeowner to do a small repair. If you notice that there's large texture spots, you can push bigger pieces up onto the actual patch. Once you have the texture on, you've got to give it just a couple minutes to start to dry. Then we will take an actual 6" taping knife and we will flatten it off so it has a slick finish to it, but it will have to dry for a few minutes. Texture's had about 5 minutes to dry. We're going to take a flat-edged knife and lay it off. Very lightly touching it, that'll knock the surface flat. And when you're finished, you should have a matching texture. We're going to use a heat gun to speed up the dry time. You can use a dryer, a hair dryer, a fan, or you can just let it naturally dry.